Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another unusual edition of Haunters Anonymous. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. If you can't, let me know. Ooh, let me know. I wonder if anybody's even here. Hmm, maybe not. Maybe not yet. I mean, I'm on time, but you know, maybe the rest of you aren't. Dun dun. Hello, hello. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully, everybody got forewarned that tonight is actually happening. Maybe, maybe not. Well, let's check. Let us check. Hey, what is going on? Let us see what is going on this evening. Let me see if I can break something. Oh, maybe. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Oh, one person's watching. Two people are watching. Let's see here. Hello, everyone. Hello. Who's all here? Ooh. Is anybody here? Oh, there's 2 likes. 3 people. 4 people. Hey, Josh. How do I sound? How are you doing tonight? Seems like every time y'all come on now, it's a hey, Zach. How's the how is the I'll explain the video later, but how's the how's the audio on my end? Grilling burgers. What the hell? And wieners. Damn it. You sound different. Sounds sad. Hey, Ellen. When you say different, yes. I'm just going to change microphones every damn time y'all come on here. Damn it. I had a big old mouthful of crackling oat bran. I'm going to choke on it. That's great. I had to turn up the sound. Okay. Let me crank. Let's see if, uh-oh. I'm going to turn the volume up on my mic. I thought I was a different person. Maybe it is. Let's see. My mic is up all the way. I'm using a boom mic. It's a USB mic. Because I didn't want to use the the mic on the camera. Um, if it sounds really muffled or something, I can take off the sound protector. By the way, James, once again, is extremely busy. But instead of canceling, I decided to do another crazy ass stream. Well, crackling oat bran, crackling oat bran and no water right before I came on. Crackling oat bran, and I'm not going to get up and get water. So the hell with it. It's a great. What the hell? Did I just get disconnected? Am I still here? It says I'm still live. Or did we just all get bounced off? I wonder if you know what? Who gets bounced off? Um, not Oak. Yeah. Well, I know some people who don't like it who say it is like eating oak. Um, cool. If if it sounds muffled, like I said, I have a pop protector on. I can take it off. I do have the mic all the way up, I believe. But if it's distorted or anything, let me know. This is a good way for me to test this boom mic. It's very dry like cookies. I don't like I like some cereal, but I like it dry. I don't like to put in any milk. That's sacrilegious. I like drinking cold milk. Um, hey Keith, what's up, man? It's another it's another crazy stream where I'm choking on crackling oat bran. Um, for those of you who have heard this already, I'll say it a few times as people come in. It is just me tonight. James is once again extremely busy. But instead of canceling the stream, I'm doing this just live and crazy video and uh, audio. What do you mean? What am I doing, Keith? The pictures you see, I was trying to figure out. There's no show and tell tonight. Uh, so instead of the stuff that James puts up when he's around, I'm having to find things to display. So tonight I'm displaying a picture. We're now currently in my living room. This is a picture of my grandmother and my grandfather that are in the living room. My great grandmother is also here in a picture, but it's on another wall. So I decided to make this the backdrop for the evening. Nice and grainy, sepia tone, and the fact it's low light in here. I'm using the same crap camera that I did for the other thing. Um, but yeah, definitely tell me if the audio is muffled or anything sounding, and I will take this pop filter off, and it'll probably just go into absolute just shrieky holy shit mode. Hey, 13, how are you doing, sir? Yes, haunted houses. We'll let some folks come in, and I'll give everybody another history of my house, which I did many episodes ago. Keith, thank you. Thanks everybody that the really nice words about it. I realize I say a lot when I'm having to improvise, which I am now tonight. I've set in my brain to not do that. So my apologies on all the ums. But I had never done a out there's an I've never done a video like that before. I've never done a tutorial or just a random here you go look at this shit kind of video, but I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. I actually did rewatch it. That's how I know I was annoying myself with the amount of ums I was saying. But hopefully there see is a filler word according to James. I missed the LED show, but watched it later on YouTube. Yeah, if there was a few people that were missing, but I know there was other things going on, and that's the magic of YouTube is you can go and watch it later, and then ask me questions now. It will not be the last one. We will do more. Uh, Definitely where I will have a better camera and better setup. And it was a bit, gosh, yep, my brain is just totally shot. So uh, we'll get more into doing stuff like that. I love LEDs. I've loved them for longer than what most people know they've existed. I'm 50 now, and I've been playing with LEDs since I was 16. So we'll do another one, and if y'all have any suggestions for making it different, or if you have questions, especially if you have questions tonight, that's fine too. Tonight, like I said, is going to be me sitting here talking with y'all as we look at a picture of my grandmother and grandfather. That would be Hazel Fell and Elwood Fell. Elwood Fell Senior. I'll give you a little bit of interesting anecdote about my grandfather and myself. We share something in common besides genetics. I actually looked quite a bit like him when I was younger, for one. So, hey, Danny, we got another show. James is going to be busy again, so instead of canceling the show, decided to come on here. I may sound a little different because I'm using a boom mic. the way I have things set up to do these live streams, I can't use my lapel mic, so kiss my ass. Yes, Elwood like the Blues Brothers. You don't know. There's not a lot of people named Elwood anymore. It's not a common name. Neither is Hazel. But he that is Elwood Fell, my grandfather, and he actually died in this house in the bathroom in the same tub that I still use to this day. But his ghost is not here. Uh, uh, Josh says I use and shit as filler words. I do that too. I do that too. Um, did it move? Okay, that's cool. The picture on the left, the woman, that's my grandmother. She's probably watching this, wondering what the hell I'm doing. She's literally probably like why are you displaying these pictures of us? They're fantastic pictures. The once again the sepia type tone is just the lighting. I tried to put a lot of light in the room and it made it look ridiculous. So I kept it low light. It's grainy. I will work on the, the video. I've been really busy this week to get any other look at any other cameras, but I would not doubt it. And since this is a live video in the house, hell, you may actually see the actual resident ghost of the house sometime this evening while y'all are staring at these two pictures. We are currently, for those of you who don't know, we are currently in my living room, which is a mess right now. I'm actually doing de-renovations of the house. Holy shit, that's badass. Hazel is the lead character, Rabbit in Watership Down. Well, Hazel, I just lost my connection again. This could be good. Am I still here? Why am I losing my connection? I'm losing my connection on occasion. I'm not sure why. I'm going to see if I can fix that. If I'm coming and going, my bad. I'm not sure what's going on with the connection tonight, but I'm going to correct that. Am I still here? Hello? My bad. I don't I reset everything right before I did this. So if it buffers but you still like um there's no like cutout. Uh Keystone fiber optic. Well, AT&T is supposed to be putting fiber optic down my street at some point, and I'm going to do that when they do. So, and hell, it could be the ghosts. It could be my grandmother whacking my internet out because she's possibly not happy that I'm dead. Who knows? But yeah, so Hazel, you don't have kids. The names that kids get these days, of course, it happens generation after generation. Things change, and the names, some names will come back in favor, and some will fall out. But yes, that is my grandmother, Hazel Fell. She passed away when I was 9. And my grandfather, I never knew him. He passed away 18 years before I was born, 20, something like that. Passed away from a heart attack at the age of 42. Yes, yes, my grandfather. Well, since we're talking about haunted houses and all that kind of stuff, we'll start off with my grandfather on the right, Elwood Fell Senior. He, the family had this thing where all the men in the house, all the men in the family died at 42, literally of heart attacks, and he was in the main bathroom in the tub, soaking, and he never came out. And so everybody's like, "Where's he at?" And they were knocking on the door. The door was locked. And my other uncle, who was Elwood Jr., wasn't too happy with it and actually broke the door down, smashed the door in. And my grandfather had passed away in the tub, and it was from heart attack, and he was 42. Is on the left. Okay, I'm sorry. For me, it's on the right. If I look up on the actual wall, it's on the left. My bad. Of course, if you can't tell who is an Elwood and who is a Hazel, then my bad too. Um, hey, there's Nightbot. So, my grandfather, like I said, he passed away at 42. Could have been 20. I think it was about 20, 25 years maybe before I was born. But one of the things that, besides genetics, he and I share in common is you can't really tell from the picture, but his teeth are perfectly straight and white. He had perfect teeth. Um, he was born that way and died that way. All of the teeth in his head were his baby teeth, every one of them. He never got his adult teeth. All the teeth that he had were his baby teeth, and they, like I said, they were perfectly straight, perfectly white. I share the genetics that give me very fortunate, perfectly straight teeth, um, perfectly white. Although I gotten older, they've gotten a little bit yellower, but I still have four of my baby teeth. So he had all of his baby teeth when he passed. I have four. I still have four of my baby teeth, two on the top, two on the bottom. And we shared the same ears. When I was younger, I looked quite a bit like him, especially when I smiled. Um, and he has a very mild dimple. I also have a dimple. My grandmother, um, she passed away when she was 67, I believe. And that was, like I said, that was in 1979. My grandfather, he watches up from above. My grandmother sometimes I think she comes and roams the house. So if you see the picture move or my internet goes wonky, it's probably her. You have two baby teeth. That's pretty wild. Wow. All right. Some other folks with the baby teeth still. That's pretty damn cool, actually. Now, this house is about 2,600 square feet. It's got 14 rooms on one floor. It's a extremely odd house, but very cool. I'm hoping that by Halloween, once the D renovations are done, I'm tearing back about there was a lot of renovations that were done in the early 70s that covered up a lot of the old stuff. I'm uncovering the old stuff because I like the old stuff. So, um, hopefully by Halloween there'll be an actual. I'm going to try to do an actual virtual walkthrough of the house that you can actually put on virtual headset and walk through the house. That's how I'm going to document the house for posterity. But the house itself actually has the resident goes to the house, the one that probably is actually the one wonking out the internet when it does wonk out is William Rosique, Rosique, and we do know that is his name. That's who he is. He protects the house, chills out with me. You constantly know he's here. He's probably here in the living room with me. So, or he may just be bored and go to the other part of the house. But William Rosique has been the resident ghost of this house for probably about 80 to 85 years. I'm going to guess. He's been here for quite a while. And he makes his presence known. If you're new to the house, he'll let you know if he doesn't like you. He'll let you know if he likes you. The way he does that is if you're new to the house and you come in, the first thing that you're told, and this is actually for real, the first thing that you're told when you come in the house, if you've never been in the house before or in the property, is keep your keys in your pockets. Keep your car keys, house keys, whatever. Don't come in the house and sit them directly down somewhere. If you're going to sit down, if you're going to chill out in the house for a little bit, don't let go of your car keys because if you do, if you sit them on a table or whatever, they will disappear for about 20 minutes, even if you know exactly where you've put them. And that's Willie basically going like, well, you're going to stay here for a wee bit while I figure out if I like you or not. And Willie will let you know. It's very rare that he doesn't like somebody, but what you do is, in about 20 minutes, whoever new is to the house, you say, "Well, stop trying to find your car keys and let's go to another room of the house." And you go to another room of the house, you come right back in. Your keys will be right exactly where you put them, and they could be right out in the middle of the room and the table. That no, that was Keith. That was James. That's not. That was James. James is the one that had the car door open or whatever the hell it was. So that's a Pennsylvania ghost. This is a Florida ghost. Um, it's around here, around the house. Things like that though are quite normal. Doors opening, closing, locking and locking. You just know that Willie's here. Willie loves Halloween. He loves Halloween. If I'm passing out candy on the porch, he will actually stay on the what is called the bar side of the porch. We'll get to that at some point. And he loves Halloween. It's very evident. The quick story with that is that many moons ago, some people came by with their kids, little kids, trick or treated and all that stuff. And I knew them, so I walked them back to their cars. They had parked in the yard, and the little girl was looking up, talking to nobody, and it was Willie. Willie had come out into the yard and was chatting with this little girl, and she described Willie perfectly. And so he very much enjoys it. He will make part of the porch cold. He just loves doing ghost things. It's kind of funny. He will actually cause uh, his part of the porch to go really cold by about 15 or so degrees. It's very evident. And I will actually send people to that side of the porch, and there's people that they've actually jumped off the porch. It's a lot of fun. He says, "Are these renovations going to piss off the resident spirits?" No, these are. That's why I keep calling it a de-renovation. Is the house was quote unquote modernized, quote unquote. A lot of the old stuff was covered up, old walls, old doors, old windows. The core of the house is about 115 years old, and it was expanded quite a bit as the family expanded. But even the even the expansions are, oh my god, expansions are at least 80 years old. So the core of the house, which is four rooms, is which is the middle of the house, 115. And I would say that renovations of the house are about 80 years old. So my other uncle, um, he started. He didn't like it looking old. I can't really explain it. He didn't like how things looked old, and he covered up things and put things down that shouldn't have been. He carpet on a hardwood floor. The hardwood floor has been 100% already brought back to life. Carpet's gone, but the core of the house and where it's expanded, like there are doors and windows that were covered up that would have been the outside of the house 80 something years ago before it was built onto, and all that stuff was covered up. And I'm uncovering all that stuff. There are mirrors in rooms that basically hide entire windows, and that window, you open it up, it shows the next room, the renovated room. One of those being what everybody that's been to the house they know when I say the bar side of the house, they know what I mean. Um, the Back in the late 70s, the house is the house is big enough. It's got a lot of big rooms, and one side of the house was turned into an actual bar. Back in the 70s, uh, late 60s, early 70s, late 70s, everybody had a wet bar in their house. You see them like people in their bell bottoms, and they've got a corner of the living room where they've bought a wet bar and have little drinks and the ice bucket and all that kind of stuff. This house got an entire bar. One whole side of the house was turned into a bar. That is also being de-renovated. I'm bringing back the windows and the doors that were covered up by turning it into a bar. It'll still be a bar, even though I don't drink, but it'll bring back the prestige of the house, and people can walk through and see how the house was expanded onto and how the porches were used to expand onto the house. There was a wraparound porch originally on the house, and now there is a full front porch and two small back porches. But the front porch is uncovered, is open, but the back porches are now small rooms, and the bar is now what the bar was a porch, and the other side of the opposite side of the house, the parking lot was a porch as well. So the house has got a lot of history, and I've put it all in my head. When eventually there is a website for the house. It's nothing to it right now, but I'm going to put a lot of the history and pictures and everything I'm doing in that. So that whole long story short is that no, the stuff that I'm doing right now will not piss off the spirits because I'm actually peeling back 40 some odd years worth of unnecessary renovations that were done to the house, and I'm bringing the house back to its original 115-year-old and 80-year-old state, which is a pain in the ass. Just to kind of give you two, in 1942 is when the house was plumbed for water and hooked to the city's water system. 1942, and holy crap, is some of that piping still here? That's another thing I'm having to actually, um, God, 1942 plumbing. Let me tell you, still active to this day, but it served its purpose, so it needs to. That's one of the things I'm doing. So that is one of the actual renovations I'm doing, which you can't see, but it's plumbing. See, Josh says sounds like be a lot of fun staying. Hey, Josh, I'll give you another story about staying in the house. Sorry about the creaking, by the way. It's this cracked chair that I'm gonna have to eventually get rid of. My uncle, one of my uncles, he who stayed. My number one uncle, the oldest of four siblings, stayed in this house until he passed away in 2013, and I've been in the house since 2000 because the house so big. It's just when I came back from Gainesville, I just stayed here. But he was a kind of an English teacher for St. Michael's Catholic Church here. It's kind of hard to explain, but there would be people that would come to the United States and through the church, through the Catholic Church. Excuse me, and they need to learn English. Well, my uncle would do that. There was a group of a Vietnamese family that came here. It was a grandmother, the daughter, her husband, and I think two kids. And they came here, and they had just arrived in Pensacola. And my uncle was going to teach them English, and they didn't have a place to go. And my uncle was like, "Well, stay here at the house for a few nights, and we'll get you situated," which was normal. And he already kind of knew the people. The wife and let's see, the wife and the husband spoke English, broken English, but good enough. Kids didn't, and the grandmother didn't. So Willie Rozicki's, where he hangs out most time, is in the bar, and at the time it was not the bar yet. It was it was an apartment. My grandmother actually rented out sections of the house after my grandfather passed away. That God, we could have a whole other stream about that, but it was still an apartment phase, and it was one of the apartments that she rented out, and she had passed. Let's see, wait a minute. No. She was still alive. That's right, she was still alive. It was before 1979. So these people stayed in that side of the house where Willie pretty much hung out most of the time, unless he comes out and wanders around. Well, these people stayed the night. The next morning, they all got up, and I think my grandmother was cooking breakfast. Yeah, it was the morning, and the grandmother in Vietnamese was talking to the daughter and wanted to translate. And the story was that the grandmother thanked my family, thanked my uncle, and all that stuff for letting them stay. But she didn't feel comfortable staying another evening, and they would find a place to stay until they were permanent. And my uncle was like, "Well, oh my God, what? What's going on? I'm so sorry. It's literally like, why don't you feel comfortable here?" And she said, nothing bad. She said, but there's a gentleman, the ghost of a gentleman here, who was at the foot of the bed, and we were talking, and she just didn't feel comfortable because she felt like they were in his way, and that was Willie. So the the Vietnamese woman was basically saying this in Vietnamese, and the granddaughter, not the granddaughter, the daughter, the wife, completely freaked out because this is the first she had heard of any of this stuff, and was translating it. So Willie had made his presence visibly known to the grandmother, and didn't wish them gone, but the grandmother just got this idea that maybe they were in the way. So, but the rest of the family freaked out quite a bit from the ghost story. So that is one of many, many, many tales of Willie Rozicki being here. Um, he was a mischievous person when he was alive. He's actually in quite a few of the Pensacola News Journal papers, our local paper back in the day. He was very mischievous, apparently. So he's very cool to have around. And there are stories after stories after stories. When I was a kid, I lived here. Basically, when I was born, I lived here for the first 9 years of my life with my mom. And Willie would play hide and seek with me in the house. Um, we had a lot of it was a hoot. It was actually a lot of fun. Keith thought you'd be all right. It's very awesome too. The house has a ton of history. I'm really pushing myself to finish the de-renovations. We're talking about multiple years that I've been doing this. Um, I'll tell you this quick story. The dining room, which what all the rooms of the house have been, was a bedroom at one point, but it's a huge room. It was one of the apartments that my grandmother rented out. Uh, it's the house has literally had one, two. The house has had one, two, three, uh, three, three kitchens at one point. The original kitchen is now the laundry room. There was a full kitchen in the bar side of the house, which I'm going to put it back into half a kitchen. The kitchen that it is now is in the heart of the house. Um, I used to know measurements of all these damn rooms, but there's an actual foyer. Um, Keith, I don't play with that shit. Nah, it's a friendly ghost. There's an actual foyer. The dining room used to be my great grandmother's bedroom. Uh, the, the rooms of this house literally have changed multiple times. Like I said, the house has had at one point actually had two full kitchens. And like I said, the one kitchen got dismantled. I'm putting it back into partial operation. Hopefully by the end before Halloween. I have the original sink, which is a uh, cast iron sink. I'm going to put it back in operation. The uh, and this all is leading up to this story. It's really a terrible story, but it's really not because it's funny and not funny. It's funny to me. You'd have to know my uncle that passed away in 2013, and there's a story I could tell you about when he died. But um, the I had pulled up the carpet in three of the four rooms of the house that were the core of the house, which it would be the living room, the foyer, and the kitchen. And the dining room had this blue carpet in it. And when I redid three of the rooms while my uncle was alive moons ago when I moved back to Pensacola. And I said, well, let's go ahead and clean out the dining room. Let's get everything out of there. And because I was doing this in phases, and let me go ahead and do the floor in here. And he said, no, we're going to keep this carpet. I'm like, well, the carpet's getting old, and all that kind of stuff. He's like, I don't care. He's like, well, shampoo it, whatever. Or if I have to replace carpet, he just liked the carpet in the dining room for some reason. And I said, okay, I mean, it's whatever, you know. And I really, really wanted to pull it up. It I really wanted to pull it up. I wanted the core of the house to be back to the wood floors like the rest of the house. And then he said, I tell you what, my uncle said, I tell you what, you can pull this carpet up and redo the floors when I'm dead. And so he died, and I pulled the carpet up and redid the floors. I'm laughing because it's just funny. You have to know this whole family. But so the house is now. There was even a shag carpet that was installed in the bar side of the house because it was a bar, and it was horrendous. And I remember when I pulled that up, I was like, I don't know. Oh my God. It was, it was filthy, absolutely filthy. So the original wood is, you can see the original wood now in the bar, which when I don't think I'm going to redo that floor because it has a lot of history to it as far as markings on it. And, but that was the one of the original porches. So the wood that's in the bar is the wood that was the porch before it was closed in. So, an enormous amount of history that I could probably bore the bejesus out of tons of people. And, but it's history that I'm going to write out. It's I'm going to write out all these crazy things that I'm telling y'all, along with pictures. And the people that you see in the video, um, my grandmother and my grandfather, uh, they are the second generation of this house. So my great grandfather and my great grandmother were the ones that built the core of the house, and they, along with, they did most. I think they did most of the expansions. Actually, I think they did do most of the expansions as the family grew, and it was a typical multiple generations of family living in the same house. So I am the last of my kind. So I'm in this big house with the ghost by myself, and I'm very used to it. Um, you can even tell the wall that the pictures are on are wood. The ceiling is wood. The floor is wood. This whole room, well, the whole house is wood, stem to stern, top to bottom. So that's my that's my part of haunted houses. And of course, Pensacola's got plenty of them, but probably not as cool as this house at all. So that's that part of the story. Um, I didn't. Let's see. I didn't know. Of course, I didn't know my great grandfather, but I did know my great grandmother. She was still alive for the first few years of my life. Like I said, she's the only other picture in this room. Yeah, I'd like to change that. I've got pictures of the rest of them. I'd like to actually put them all around the living room. So there you go. And that's why, like I said, we had this wonderful static video of these two people here. Hopefully, everybody's still with me. The chat kind of got like died off, kind of freaking out. I seem to be still live though, which is good. See, I'm gonna go quiet and see if anybody asks me where I went to. Total quiet. Oh my god, it's so quiet. Hey, Reginald. All right, I was kind of freaking out. We had all these. We have a bunch of watchers, but like people stopped actual. They stopped chatting. Maybe I was mesmerizing. Reginald, how you doing, buddy? It's just me again tonight. James is ultra mega busy again, so instead of killing off another stream, I decided to come in. You just missed actually, like unless you've been here for a while. Jen just tuned in. She missed a lot of the Willie stuff. Well, you tell her, yeah, that's the cool thing about the live streams is you can go back and check them out. And there is a stream, I don't even know which one it was, where same thing. I went into everything about Willie, um, like the whole story and everything else. I don't know which one it is. Mesmerized by the stories. I'm glad. I plan on doing more of these, at least with the house. Hopefully, people find them interesting. I will most likely also be doing just straight audio, like audio stories, and posting those on the house's website. Zach sewing here for a little bit was drinking in and out. That's because you're. I got it because you're sewing. Yeah, Reginald. Just to let you know, like I said, James is mega busy again, so you'll have to just watch the recap of the stream to know what the hell what the hell's going on. I am glad though. Going back to last Sunday's stream, I'm glad. I'm glad people enjoyed it. I'm glad that I wasn't wandering around so much with LEDs that people were like, "Oh my god, what the hell's Mike talking about?" I just really, really, I just love LEDs, and there's so much cool technology in just the past few years. Fruit don't talk, fruit just listen. So, but like I said, we'll have more of those, most definitely. Not sure what's going on with Wednesday stream. If James is still busy, I may do the same thing, and we'll just have a ministry stream like this, but not talking haunt stuff. Maybe I'll put the camera on a different picture. I will say my entire family is crazy, and love to have fun. So maybe that's what I'll. If some reason James is still busy Wednesday, maybe I'll talk that stuff. But the house, let's see. Going back with the house, has survived. Knock on wood, for God's sakes. 115 years worth of hurricanes. Sally last year was the only one that kind of threw me off with the porch, but that's being taken care of as well. Oh my God! Hopefully we can just like not have any hurricanes this year. That'd be awesome. Just like no hurricanes, because I really, with all the LED talk, I am actually have been doing quite a bit for Halloween with LEDs. I ordered some more stuff on AliExpress because AliExpress is awesome, and if you do it, you know, have plenty of time, you can get it and get it super mega ultra cheap. I'm starting to like go through Amazon a lot. If you go into like the 19th and 21st pages of Amazon, you tend to start finding the cheap stuff because even if you put like your payment or your price parameters, it still doesn't seem to work right. But if you really, really go deep into stuff, you start finding some cool stuff. I'm finding pre-wired 12 volt pre-wired LEDs really cheap now on Amazon, and much prefer it over eBay simply because it shipping is free and quick. I'd be nervous if there were no hurricanes. I would not. I would be just damn fine if we didn't have any hurricanes. I'd be just right as rain if we could have another 20 years worth of like nothing. But like I said, the house has put up with 115 years worth so far. The porch threw me off once again, though. Here's the interesting thing: the porch was renovated as far as the stanchions, the support posts, and what was put up there was metal, and it wasn't correct. So they had gone through one hurricane, which was Ivan, and probably just decided, "Fuck all this noise." So I'm putting the original, quote unquote, the original style of stanchions back, which is either a 4x4 or 4x6, and then encapsulated with um, decorative wood around it. Hey Ezekiel, how are you doing, sir? Just as well, since you just popped in. It is just IMD. James is super busy, so this is why we have this weird video up there. But you've completely missed 44 minutes of my stories about what's going on. So you'll have to go back and rewatch, which is fine because that's what YouTube is all about. Now, as far as haunt news goes, Transworld still seems to be on par, which is good. Uh, there's a lot of people that are super excited. I'm gonna be, I if I read this correctly, I think that Transworld had to expand their vendor floor. If somebody can correct me on that or thumbs up that, who here is still going to Transworld? Keith, are you going to Transworld? I know that I will not be for just obvious reasons, but decorative LED wood art, super random. Oh, Reginald, you know you're talking about the fairy lights. I found addressable LED fairy lights really cheap on Amazon. When I started digging really deep, I found like I think it was a 16-foot string with 50 lights for double the length. It was about 16 or 17. Okay, cool, Ezekiel. Ezekiel said yes, they did expand the floor, which is cool. So that's cool. I saw so it'll probably be packed. I saw, totally side note, speaking of vendors, um, there was a vendor that was getting a lot of hate in uh, haunt vendor review group. I'm not even going to name them, but it's 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 a vendor that's just had pure hell for years because they got good stuff, but it breaks and they just suck and take people's money. So if you're not on Haunt Vendor Review, I think that's the group. You should go and check it out because you do find out some really cool stuff. He says, "Nope, I have a procedure that week. Plus, it's not enough time for me to plan for a hotel and stuff." Yeah, I hear you. Next year probably be a whole different story. Next year probably we'll try to go to all the things, or at least the ones that are necessary. Josh says, "I have 100 crack and rum shooter bottles that I'm currently wiring LEDs into to hang on my porch." That is seriously cool. What kind of LEDs are you using? Are they pre-wired? You building them yourself? Are you doing the addressable ones? He says next year I should be. Yeah, I think that's the idea for Haunters Anonymous. Grab James, go there, meet up with some folks. Pretty much, pretty much this year is kind of low key again, just for general purpose. And one of them being that most likely everything's going to be just slam packed full. Just a bunch of obnoxious ass people. I'm just leaving me alone. Ezekiel says next year for me too. The Australian government says no flying out. Yeah, there's still a lot of countries away from here, away from here. A lot of countries that people are still having to. There's no fly zone to the to the U.S. Uh, he says the COVID thing is still making things hard to plan. Yes, it is. That is true. That is damn true. Josh says I haven't decided yet. Uh, this is about the LEDs. Originally, I was going to wire individual ones in series, but changing my mind. Well, definitely, you know, video or pictures or share, share. I'd love to see what you're doing. Reginald says a lot of countries away from here sounds like something I would say. It should be a shirt. Yeah, I've lost my mind. That's okay. I've lost my damn mind. It's fine. Which it's going to be interesting towards the. It's going to be interesting towards Halloween Horror Nights and stuff. They get a ton of people from other countries, so I'm wondering if the restrictions will be lowered a bit, or if it's still going to be pretty much balls to the wall. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Somebody's racing down my street. Um, yeah, Josh, definitely need to do that. I'd be very, I'd be very interested. Most definitely. So it's going to be. I mean, Halloween Horror Nights is going to be packed this year, even if it's just Americans. It's going to be packed. Everything's going to be packed this year. Mega ultra packed. Zico says we're back into lockdown tonight. Some asshat let 26 people come through the airport from PNG. Nice. He says they had over a year to plan. Very true. Hey, Jen, I feel like I've seen this room corner in Phasmophobia. I'm expecting one of the photos to fall off or to hear ghost sounds. That 13 Skeletons said that one of the pictures moved, which I absolutely don't doubt. I do not doubt. Midsummer Scream is a go for Long Beach, apparently. Well, that's cool. July 9th to the 11th. That's cool. I'm still honestly, I have not checked MHC Midwest Haunters. I haven't checked their page in a while, but I'm following them, so I should be getting updates. I guess I should check them out at some point. Reginald, if you pay them a visit, take pictures, let us know. You'll have to do a live stream for us. Phasmophobia is a game about ghost hunting. Oh, okay. Ooh. Sounds interesting. MHC will be in Milwaukee this year, according to Keith. Keith, are you going to MHC? Reginald says, I just realized the one on the right is off center now. That would be my grandmother. Is she? Yep, it moved. I had to look. Hell no, too far. I purposefully, by the way, every once in a while they do move. I purposefully made sure that they were level before the stream. So I wouldn't be surprised that the pictures move. As long as they don't fall off the wall, we're good. I'm pretty sure though that any of the conventions that occur this year will probably be packed. It sounds like everybody is just like, screw it, we're going. Some folks have got their vaccines; they'll have the second vaccines way before then. Wisconsin sucks. Does it, Keith? I've never been to Wisconsin. Like I said, my biggest thing this year, since this is just another lay low year, is to put forth all the effort that I was going to do last year into decorating and getting the house ready. Um, it's going to happen this year. I'm going to make things hurricane proof. That's all I can do. Things are going to go up this year, literally come hell or high water. So, and I'm going to just throw candy just at birds. If nobody comes to my house to trick or treat, I'm going to throw candy at birds. And I'm going to definitely do the trick or treat app. Danny says Wisconsin is pretty. Milwaukee sucks though. Reginald says Wisconsin is only good for cheese curds. Nice. Well, it sounds like the only person going anywhere maybe is Reginald. to Midsummer. The other interesting thing too is, gosh, speaking of Ezekiel and Australia, a ton of people, including vendors, actually go to Transworld from overseas. So I'm wondering how that's affecting that. Josh says, I finally watched Tubi Halloween. I'm gonna get really in a lot of trouble if I don't watch that soon. How'd you like it, Josh? Did you just close your eyes whenever Adam Sandler was on on the screen, like I'm probably going to do? I'll tell you what I just watched. Totally not haunt related. I watched Sonic the Hedgehog. That's the last movie I saw. It was a couple of nights ago because I was super bored, and I was gonna go see it at the theater when it came out. Of course, hell no. It was decent. It's not that I like would watch over again, or if I was tuned into it, just sit there and watch. But once was good, and I do like Jim Carrey. It felt very missed, scared, stupid. Huh? Okay. There's the Sonic the Hedgehog is one of Jim Carrey's best movies. He really did do. I mean, he did do a good job. I really enjoyed it. The whole premise was good. Um, I actually like James Marsden as an actor, so that was cool. I think it's cool that the they spent time to fix Sonic when it had a huge outcry from all the game folks that said that Sonic looked like shit, and so they took the time to fix it and made it look better. He says, "I watched Flash Gordon documentary about Sam Jones. I think I have that queued up on Prime. How was it good? Is it worth the watch, Keith? Ernest Scare Stupid. Okay. Um, yeah, I like the song too. Reginald says I still love the dancing scene when he was analyzing. Yeah, I like that song. Cool. All right, Keith. Well, then I'll have to watch it. I will definitely watch it. Hell, I might watch it tonight. Who knows? Um, I have a lot of arcade documentaries I got to watch too. All the time. I need to really take. I need to like really utilize my Prime Video more than I do. Thank God I don't think there's going to be any Medea movies this year. No Halloween Medea movies. Thank you. Hey, Mark. Oh, hey, Mark. Since you just got here, we've got another weird stream. James is still super busy, so instead of canceling another stream, I just came on. You missed a full hour's worth of ghost stories and about these pictures, so you'll just have to catch up later. How are you doing, Mark? How's Disney COVID? How's that going? Are they up to 300% capacity yet? Speaking of Disney, there's another one. I wonder if Mickey's Not So Scary Whatnot's going to happen this year, since we know Horror Nights will be happening. Maybe Beetlejuice can take a tram from Universal to Disney. Get a 2-for-1 special with Beetlejuice. There's Nightbot again. Yeah, be sure you give the stream a like, or don't. That's up to you. I don't give a damn. I already did, so. But Nightbot said you should. If Nightbot says you should, then I'll be damned. You should. Reginald says the taste of Universal Hollywood version is actually bomb. What? Keith, thanks, Keith, for thumbs upping. Now it says the bacon chicken ranch macaroni and cheese with delicious. I'm envious that it's only for kids. Uh, I've been places where the kids menu is so awesome. I'm just like, I'll take that, and I'll actually pay more for. I'll pay the adult price for that because that's better than any of the other crap you got on your menu. I've done that before, and they have done it for me, but at the child's price. And I'm like, well, thank you. Now I'll take two because it was so good since it was so cheap too. But it's definitely going to be, and with Halloween Horror Nights being open, and most likely Mickey's Not So Scary. Uh, seeing the other, um, seeing what haunts open up this year, would normally see a lot more posts on Facebook, pushed into my feed. I'm not seeing them, so I'm very curious if some haunted attractions didn't make it from last year that couldn't open. Mark says after being at Jacksonville and having dinner in Palm Coast and driving through downtown Orlando on a Saturday night at 9:30, I've never felt more safe at Disney. Not a single mask or shit. Oh well, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Um, I I was a little bit dismayed. Of course, Alan Hops is just yeah, it's just an amazing man. But he just did one of his classes at Fox Factory, and not one person was wearing a mask, and they were all licking poles and jammed up against each other. And I'm just like, a lot of pictures of it. I mean, I'm glad he's making money, but getting some good lessons from Alan. But sure would have liked to have seen some masks. Sure would have liked to have seen some masks. But I feel like it's just you know. Oh, speaking of masks, Reginald Doe says just like for some reason Universal, if you get the chicken tenders, are some of the best chicken tenders out there. Well, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Now I want some chicken tenders. I actually would like to have some macaroni and cheese, but whatever. I'll have to settle with like a cheese sandwich or something that I can eat this late at night. Speaking of masks and COVID and everything else, I got my first Moderna shot last Monday. So in a month, I'll get my second one. Probably be jacked up for a day or two, but um, I thought I'd throw that out there. If you're able to get your shot, please do, and please wear a mask. Um, it when I went, it was just amazingly efficient. It's just God, it's just boom, boom, boom. So nice. At least the people here, and I don't like needles. Zach says I got my first one. Excellent. Josh says we ate the lost Cajun last night. Fried catfish covered in crawfish at Buffet. Oh my god. I like catfish. I'll eat catfish. I much prefer mullet. But I'll tell you what, I'll eat some catfish covered in etouffee. Whew. There's a remoulade sauce with it. Zach gets Zach. That's excellent, dude. I will get my second one on the 22nd of April, which is a Thursday. So that Wednesday, I will load my house up with food and Tylenol, and Thursday get my shot, and then we'll see how it goes on Friday and the weekend. But he says not getting the vaccine. I'll keep masking up. Well, you know what? That's good. Do that at least. When enough million bazillion people get it, and they find out that it's helpful and no big deal, and maybe some of the other people will get it. I'm not pushing the vaccine as hard as the masks because there are some people that they don't qualify yet, or they're still kind of skeptical, or they don't like needles. Um, Masks are just it's a mask. Wear your fucking mask. But I think I saw a statistic that like half of medical personnel still haven't gotten theirs for this and the other reason. I don't know where I got that I saw that from, so I don't know if it's true or not. Um, you know, it's going to be something probably that we'll have to do every year, like the flu shot. I had never gotten a flu shot until last year, and I went ahead and did that. Oh my god! And I got my damn shingle shot too. Fuck that. God of everything, shingle shot. My damn arm still hurts. That was in November. I don't know what the hell they did with that needle. They just jabbed it straight into my fucking bone or something. God, it still hurts every once in a while. Anyway, that I won't bore you all with that. Mark says, "Whoop whoop." April 5th. Any adult in Florida can get it. Yep, I plan on going on my cruise in October, so I'll be getting it ASAP. Fantastic. Yeah, I will say that Florida, being Florida, and all the looking at the polls, we do seem to be fast tracking the eligibility for vaccines. Literally being 50, right at 50, last Monday is when they turned on 50 and above. And I went to a walk-in clinic about 7 minutes from my house, and it was phenomenal. People were so nice. So I was pretty determined. My parents have had their second shot for weeks and weeks and weeks. He says needles don't bother me at all. You know what? I'll do needles. I just don't like them. The last time I had to give blood was forever ago. I told the woman, do it on my right side because my peripheral shot. I can't see what you're doing. And she's like, oh my God, you don't like the sight of blood? And I said, lady, you can gush my blood all over this damn room. I just don't want to see the needle. And it freaked her out and she did it. And we all got a good laugh. Reginald said, I'm just nervous about the vaccine because of how fast they came out with it. Reginald, and it's understandable. It really is understandable. The science behind these vaccines is really novel. It's unique, but at this point, people in the United States, there's like 100 million people that have gotten a version of the vaccine, whether it's their first or second shot, and you're just not hearing anything bad. And we all know the news loves the sensationalism and the drama. They'd be the first ones to start shooting it out there. Super, ultra, mega rare. So the experiment before it went public went very well. And I think it's going really well now. Once again, James and I always push the bejesus out of the mask, which we still do. The vaccine, I would like to see people get it, but I do understand that it's more of an intrusion into your body. You know what I mean? It's not like wearing a mask. Just wear the fucking mask. Put it on. You can breathe. You can breathe. Put the mask on. Whereas the vaccine, a little bit different. So I had no hesitations because I'm just like, I'm getting it. There you go. Tetanus shots hurt like hell. Dude, I was supposed to get my LDAP, whatever, tetanus shot, being 50. I was like, I didn't. Because I've had more needles jabbed in me in the last 6 months than I had in 60 years, I swear to God. Ezekiel says, wife's in biomedicine, ain't going anywhere near it at the moment. Well, that's understandable. I mean, it really is, Ezekiel. It really is. It is something that was put together quickly. It's very different. And like I said, it's something that goes in your bloodstream and it's there. So it's understandable. I'm hoping that anyone that has, I know that the amount of people who are hesitant or have been hesitant seems to be lowering down a little bit. And I'm hoping that once we get into the billions of humans on the planet that have it in their arms, and then it's really like literally everybody's like, well, it's all cool. Then maybe some of the hesitation with some folks, maybe it'll help to alleviate it. Hopefully. Like I said, with me, I've been getting needles. God, you turn 50 and you get all kinds of damn shots. So I'm like, yeah, screw it. I'm going to get it. Why not? I go get it. It was fun. Okay. I'll get another one in a month. Okay. Get a little sick. Okay. So, but I totally understand the hesitation with some folks. I do. I know a few people personally here in town that are that way, but I'm not. It's like people that want to just push the agenda of not getting it. And I think that is wrong. I am not a person to push the agenda to get it. It is definitely a choice. Wearing a mask Not so much. Wear the fucking mask. It works. I don't care what you say. Um, and it's not intrusive. It's not hurting your nothing. So if you got to wear a shirt to get in some places, wear the damn mask. But the vaccine, a little bit more. It's understandable. It's an intrusion of your actual body. So I understand. And hell, we'll just use me as an experiment. Uh, I got one. I'm fine. I'm still crazy. I got the first one. Nothing changed. When I had the second one, I will very, very, very much report to all of you, fine folks, what I went through, how I felt. Yeah, I felt fine on the first one too. My arm was sore for about 2 days. I wasn't tired or anything. Um, I'm telling you, my right arm, where they jabbed the bejesus out of me for that shingle shot, though, for months it hurt. And I don't know if it's just me being psychosomatic or whatever the hell it's called, but I swear to God, I can still feel the spot where they did it. Oh God, I got to get the next one. I'm supposed to get the next one in April, but I can actually forego that for a few months because I'd rather get the second COVID vaccine in me first. And I don't think mingling it would be good. Reginald says, I think I just want to wait until most of the people took it to see how it went. Totally understandable. As long as you stay safe, and this is Reginald and the rest of you, just stay safe. Please wear your masks or social distance. I mean, don't make it where you're like, ah, damn it. I don't even want to do this anymore. And you don't have the vaccine. And then you get the vaccine, you look at all the polls. I'm kidding. Don't look at the polls. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Pre-COVID, don't do that. And he says, LOL, I won't be getting one either. Glad that it can help people feel more comfortable though. Mark says, my old ass parents have gotten both doses and never had any side effects. My parents, my parents, mid to late 70s, got the second shot, Moderna. The next day, they were a little tired. Appetite was not there, they got the shot on Thursday. Friday was when they had very minor issues, very minor. And then Saturday they were right as rain. Jen says, first one made me really tired and not great. Not excited for the second one. Yeah. Lick the polls. Yeah. I'd rather get vaccines than licking the polls. Like I said, the vaccine. Now, I will say this. I was one of those people, speaking of vaccines, I knew I wasn't going to get Pfizer because you really have to go to hospitals and stuff for that. I was really hoping for Moderna because I really wasn't still super happy about Johnson and Johnson. So I was one of those people where I would have waited if somebody said, okay, you can get Johnson and Johnson today or Moderna in a month. I don't, you know what? I'll just wait a month for Moderna. I was one of those people because I wasn't super happy about some of the efficacy numbers they were coming out with that. Oddly enough, I got it last Monday, Moderna, and the next day, 2,000 doses of Johnson & Johnson appeared in town, and they were giving people like that left and right. I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God I got Moderna. So, like I said, I'm not a needle person. Well, I understand that up until last year, I never got a flu shot because I'm like, you know what? It seemed like people would get the damn flu shot and then they would have issues. And I knew the science behind how that was happening. I knew the science of blah, blah, blah. I was letting it go in my mind too much. But my dad always got the flu shot. My mom was the same way as me. She decided to get the flu shot last year because it was recommended. I got the flu shot as well because it was recommended, and my mom got it. And the next day, I was a little wonked out, a little bit of a fever, and then it was gone. And so I'm suspecting that my second dose of Moderna, I will be a little wonked out. I've known people that have gotten really wonked out from it for days. A friend of mine. I've done nothing, and like my parents were just like, eh. My 80-year-old aunt got the second dose, and the next day she was like, I don't know, did nothing. So like I said, that is definitely a more. That's a more. I'm trying to think of the word for it. It's a bit more. Oh God, I can't think of the word. Let me think of the word, and I'll tell you what it is. Um, Jen says I haven't gotten the 5G in my government chip to work. I think it must come with the second shot. Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Nightbot. There's Nightbot again. Um, yeah, and that's the other thing too is there's no damn chips in these damn things. They don't make chips small enough to go through the needle hole for one. But what in the hell is the word I'm looking for? Getting a vaccine of any sort, um, it's intrusive. It's more invasive. So it's something that people would think harder about than other things. Uh, if like you get a headache, you don't think much of taking a Tylenol, and ibuprofen, Advil, whatever, um, and that's going in your body. But it's things that have been around forever, and it works. This is something that literally was designed a little less than a year ago. Started getting testing early last year. Those people did not show much naughtiness whatsoever. And like I said, you've got millions of people that are getting it around the world with very few harsh side effects. But it's still understandable why there are people that are, what, this is a needle, this is going in my blood. Ooh, it's not like the flu shot that's been around forever, or polio, or vaccine, or whatever. So it is understandable. It is understandable, and it is a choice. It's something that I would hope that a bunch of people would do so that we get to that level of herd immunity, um, especially with the variants, which none of these vaccines have the same efficacy for the variants, but it's better than nothing. But it's also, like I said, it's a much more personal choice. It's not like you go to Walmart, you have to show them your vaccine card to get in, and if you don't, then they say, well, lift your sleeve up because you can't get your damn hamburger patties unless you. So, which is good. The mask thing, different. Everybody should have been wearing masks. Everybody should be wearing a mask. That is just like fuck's sake. Literal. People shooting people because I'm not going to wear this mask. Shut the fuck. Wear the mask. It's literally not going to kill you. It's not. Wear the mask. You can breathe. So it's a lot different. So we'll continue to push and promote and be obnoxious about wearing masks. But the vaccine is just like more of a hands pleading sort of. If you start feeling confident to get it, please get it when you can. Ezekiel says we're holding the chips to ears every time the phone rings. That's true. I think it's hilarious. All these people about chip. I'm not getting shot up with Bill Gates' chips. Bill Gates doesn't give two shits about. Trust me. He hasn't been in the computer business in ages. And I mean, smartwatches, smartphones, smart shoes, smart appliances, your internet, everything, tablets, Chromebooks, Windows machines, Macs, iPhones, Apple Watches, Apple TV, Roku's. I mean, I'm like, we're surrounded by it, but people are worried about making excuses not to get a damn shot because there's a damn microchip in it. Fucking please. It's just so absurd. You know what I mean? It's just beyond absurd. And and the thing too is, if you're not doing anything nefarious, why are you worried about it? All of my technology is set to track me to hell and back because I like that. I like if something happens to me, if I wander off the beaten path and I need to get pinged. I like people to be able to know where I'm at. Hell, if my phone gets lost, I like to be able to know where my phone's at. So I like my Google history. I like being able to look on Google Maps and go like, holy shit, I went all over the world on a Tuesday. Thanks, Google, for letting me know I need to calm my ass down. So the people that are the Bill Gates microchipping thing, I just Jesus. They just need to get the needle straight in their forehead. Be done with it. Mark says, at the car dealership yesterday, me and Jackie were both like, what the fuck? No one wearing a damn mask. Yeah. It's and it's it's the same story on repeat as it was last year. Um, there are now things coming out where just mask wearing and certain things could have alleviated a lot of the hell we went through last year and could make things better could have made things better at this point this year. It's a very, very simple process to wear a mask. Hell, the place I went and got my shot, they were giving away bags of masks. Here you go. I'm like, you know what? I told him, I said, you know what? Save this for the person who can't afford them or can't get them. I said, I've got plenty at my house. Trust me. And they were just elated. And it's true. Give this to somebody that doesn't have them that really would like to wear them, but maybe can't afford them. So it's boggling my mind. People don't understand. People are trying to blind themselves to the fact that there are two variants out there. One of them will probably become the predominant one within weeks, and it's the one that is more communicable, a little bit harsher on the body, and everything else. So, but people are they're just whatever. They're tired of it. It's understandable to be tired of it, but it's dangerous to be tired of it right now. Nobody wants to be going through this. This is a 100-year pandemic. Hopefully, it won't be another one for a bazillion years. But it's just the absolute lack of respect that people are having with not wearing masks. It's something so simple, and you can get them for free everywhere now. So let's see. Josh says, "Bring on the nanobots. I want to heal like a Borg." I am totally down with that. You want to shoot me with Moderna and Borg bots? I'm down with that. I tell them, like, you know what? Take my gray hair and turn it red or something. I'm gonna snap my fingers. I want my blonde hair back. Mark says, speaking of that, dude, I don't know how the hell could you not like your Fire Stick? I love that damn thing. The only thing I haven't done because I've been so enamored with using it as a Fire Stick is I haven't done any of the RetroArch stuff yet. But holy crap, I love that. I love it, and I so appreciate it again. Why didn't you like it? I love it. I love being able to tell Alexa this, that, and the other. By the way, I turned off Echo tonight. I muted it just so the robot wouldn't drive me crazy while I was on stream. I love that damn thing. I mean, I use it now more than I do my Roku, just because I can talk into the remote, which I think is freaking phenomenal. Ezekiel says, at least we're not in China getting tested in the ass. Holy crap. I don't know what news you're watching, but I need to go check that out because that doesn't sound good at all. Jen says, I want worms like Fry got in Futurama. There you go. Or Stargate with the symbiotes. How about that? Have a Stargate symbiote. Get shot in the chest and be like, pew, whoop, you're done. Fixed. Excuse me, Josh, if Jen dies before me, I'm hooking up with 7 of 9. Lord have mercy. The more you know. I'm sure Jen's probably heard that like 500 times. But the wind up as far as the vaccines, if you can get them and you feel comfortable, please do. That's how we will be. That's how we're going to force herd immunity. But it's understandable if you're still apprehensive. But just be sure that you listen to the scientists and not the news. Be sure you make your own opinion about the safety of it, and I think you'll find that it's well worth your time. So we'll leave it at that. But wear your fucking masks. There's no choice in that. Just wear your fucking masks. Mark says, because I have all smart TVs controlled through Alexa. Oh, well, there you go. Well, that's understandable. If your TVs are already integrated into it. Yeah. I don't. My TV is an older, not smart TV. Eventually, here's another little random story. But the Fire Stick, I love it. So I do appreciate it. Um, I like the Roku because it's more versatile with private channels and stuff like that. But they did a fantastic job with the layout and the software for the Fire Stick, and it's just so much better integrated. It integrates into Pluto TV much better too. I was like really thought that was cool as hell. Love Pluto TV. Um, Man, I was going to say something and now I forgot what the hell it was. Ooh, that's not good. It was something not important. I just talked myself into knowing what the hell I was going to say. That's great. That's fine. I'll remember in a minute. Jen says, if Josh dies before me, I'm hooking up with seven, 7 of 9. Yeah. There you go. Get it. It seems like something to do with 7 of 9 too. I can't remember what the hell it was. Well, must not have been important. I, except that who here watched Star Trek Picard? Speaking of 7 of 9, I watched it. I actually got CBS All Access, which now, of course, is Paramount Plus, I think. But I, I don't. There was something I don't think I watched it, and then of course I canceled CBS All Access. But I don't think that I'm going to get into the second season of that. There was something about it that was a bit too raw. Um, I mean, I enjoyed it. I won't spoil the ending, but I really did not groove with how it ended for the first season. That was just like you what? It made no sense to me. So, and 7 of 9, of course, was in it, and even her scenes in it were stupid to me. Josh, did you like it? I don't know. I watched them, and I don't know. I don't know. That one dude that was playing, he was the young dude playing. I think the Romulan guy. He just annoyed the bejesus out of me. He was a terrible actor. He just was a terrible actor. He was the one that had the sister, and they were like almost implying incest, and I was like, I don't know. I just there's a lot of bad acting. I liked it, but I honestly like Discovery more. I have yet to watch any of Discovery, but I've watched little snippets on YouTube, and it looks really good. And then Keith screams out, "Jerry Ryan." Should I know who Jerry Ryan is? Because I don't. Maybe I know the person and not the name. Sorry. But apparently I should watch Discovery. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I like Picard enough to continue watching it throughout, even though I kept going like, oh my god. And like I said, the end of it, I was just like, you're serious. But I have a feeling that if I don't watch the second season, it's going to actually start getting good. I don't know. Josh says, I didn't like the way it ended. Picard would not have agreed to that in Next Generation days. He wouldn't have. You're 100% right. He would know. It would have been done. 7 of 9 is Jerry Ryan. She's a good actress. I not so much in Picard. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's because they got old. Well, hell, and they had Hugh, and he was just terrible. He wasn't a good actor in TNG, but I don't know. It just all seems so forced. The only person I really enjoyed was Brent Spiner, and of course they screwed him up so bad with the CGI, and then people did it so much better, and you're just like, why can't people like Disney or Paramount and all these people, why they've got tons of money, why can't they do the CGI and the the the, the facial stuff better than people with a laptop on the internet? Why can they do it so much better than it just blows my mind. But I did like Brent Spiner. I do like Patrick Stewart, but I don't. I did like I did like the Starfleet against the Romulan fleet thing. That was pretty cool. And the dude that plays Riker, he's actually a pretty good. He's a good actor, and he's actually a good director. Whatever his name is, which Keith will shout it out in a minute. I'm kidding. But I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch it. I didn't particularly care for Wonder Woman 85. The first one I thought was slow. It was good, but that one just sucks. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Jonathan Frakes, thank you. Thanks, Zach. Oh, that the hell. Now I know what the hell I was going to talk about. Yeah, Jonathan Frakes, he is good. What I couldn't remember 5 minutes ago. Speaking of Fire Sticks and smart TVs, one of the things I'm going to definitely do sometime later this year, because I'm not watching a lot of TV or anything, I have to really force myself, is I am going to probably buy a ginormous TV. My thinking is that because they're so cheap now, I will probably never go back to a movie theater. I'm probably gonna be one of those people who have just decided that, like I said, they were disgusting before the pandemic. They were definitely closed down because they were disgusting. So I think I'm just going to invest in or a really good projector or something. I don't know. That was the thing I forgot that tied in with the Fire Stick. But I think the biggest I have now is I don't know. It's like a 40-inch, 42-inch. So it's one of those things where I'm like I'm going to make the decision where probably it'll be a long time for go back to the theaters because I think that the movie makers are realizing that you can do both. You can stream it and you can put it at the theater and make a bunch of money and not really hurt either one of them. People that want to see the movies on the big screen are still going to go. People that are the ones that waited anyway for them to come on TV or DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, it's going to be the same thing. So why not just barf them out on both platforms and be done with it? And I'm going to be one of those people that most likely just enjoys the movies at home, especially if I can get my drive-in theater movie screen permanent, which I should be able to. Yay! And that'll be a lot of fun. Josh says, didn't I got to watch First Contact with Jonathan Frakes over a live stream at the beginning of the pandemic? He did a live watch with 20 of us fans and talked about all the behind the scenes stuff. Cool. I liked all the Star Trek movies. First Contact was actually pretty good. I understand with the new one, Chris Pine and all that stuff, they had to kind of change the timeline to make things work, I guess. To me, that's actually just kind of lazy writing, but they were good. I didn't enjoy the last one though. The second one. Yeah, there's only been two with Chris Pine, right? Wait, right? No, three. Third one. Third one. I didn't like the third one. I liked the first one, which was Leonard Nimoy. Second one was uh, Cumber Meow as Khan. Yeah, it was the third. The third one sucked. Yeah, third one was no good. I just didn't like it. It was kind of boring to me. I don't know why. I just didn't get into it. I definitely watched it at the theater. But Jonathan Frakes is he's definitely awesome. I'm gonna. Aren't we supposed to be getting the Halloween movies this year? Halloween Kills. I think that is definitely coming out at the end of the year, right? I watched the Kelvin movies, but I don't accept them as canon. Yeah. Okay, so Mark, it is. Yeah, I'm kind of excited too. Well, I mean, I'm very excited. I'm kind of hoping that they do theater and streaming. If they don't, that's fine. I'm hoping that we just get some good Halloween movies out. I really have stopped. I think Ghostbusters isn't Ghostbusters coming out this year, or they scooched that to 2022. I know there's some movies they've already scooched to 2022. I know Regal theaters are supposed to be opening soon. I guess AMC will completely like full capacity or whatever. I guess AMC will start up. I have an AMC gift card I need to use, but I can use it to rent movies. You guessed it, online. Going to be Mark says it's going to be a great year for movies. I agree. That's why I need a bigger TV. Watch all the things on the Fire Stick and the Roku on a bigger TV or projector. Hell, I might do a projector. Living room's big enough for it. I don't know. I'll wait. I got a house to de-renovate first. But Halloween Kills does look pretty good. If Medea comes out with another Halloween movie, I'm pretty sure I'm going to avoid it, and that's fine, as it should be. But what about Ghostbusters? Is Ghostbusters coming out this year? Who knows? So 2022. I can swear there's been the one movie that I really wish they would stream, and they'll eventually will, is Voyagers. I'm telling you that it looks like it's going to be a fantastic movie. I love the movie Limitless, same director, and I think it said like theaters only, but they'll eventually make it where I can watch it at my house. Mark says, all right, Mark, have a safe time at work. Most likely we'll only be on for another 20 minutes or so. You stay safe too. Uh, I know, right? We'll get them back here. And one way or another, we will have a ministry show on Wednesday. So we'll then, Mark. Be safe. Fix all the things. Look, none of the polls. Yeah, we'll stick around for another 20 minutes. I'm pretty much unhindered time wise, except 2 hours, and I pretty much will have to pee. And speaking of not peeing, but speaking of movies, that's one of the things. This, like I said, this year's theme for me for Halloween is drive-in theater, die-in theater, and that's a lot of the stuff that y'all saw. Well, like I said on the last stream, the LED stream, the technologies out there. Um, there's so much to talk about with LEDs. I'm like, I got to hone this in, and that's how I did it. Was well, these are going to be some of the primary technologies as far as lighting and LEDs that I'm going to use for Halloween this year, and then Christmas. And if my plans go correctly with the movie screen that I'm going to build for the die-in theater, which will be a very sturdy, but it'll be a torn screen. It needs to look abandoned. The idea is that when I'm done with Halloween, I'm going to build a for real screen that is can take apart. I'm gonna build post holders in the ground, probably like 4-inch PVC with cement. I'm kind of coming up in my head, but I want the ability to actually, for the winter and the summer, to actually be able to put up an actual miniature, quote unquote, miniature drive-in screen, and be able to watch movies in my yard. And so the screen that I build for Halloween will have a dual purpose. It will be tattered for Halloween, but I'll build a separate one. Probably use the same structure, but I'll just replace the tattered screen with an actual viable, functional screen. So that's definitely on the to-do list. I just got to figure it out. Which I've figured it out. I pretty much know. I know where I'm going to put the screen. I'm just still debating on how big I'm going to make it. Big yard needs to be a pretty good sized screen. Let's see now. Speaking of shows, though, we'll definitely do an MOA show on Wednesday. Next weekend is Easter, so we won't be doing a Sunday show. So it'll either be Saturday or Monday. Most likely Monday. Just because some people will be doing Easter things Saturday. And speaking of shows as well, tomorrow will be the Trio of Terror. They will be having their live stream tomorrow at whatever time it is. 7, I think, 7 Central. Check their page. Because I don't remember. I'm getting old. I don't remember. And of course, we're going into April this week, which just boggles my damn mind. We are already in the second quarter of this year. Good Lord. And have yet to hear anything from 13 Skeletons about what what this year's theme is. If you're still around 13, come on, man. Gotta know. Got to know. And let's see what else is going on. I don't know. I know on my side I've got to I've got the projector equipment. Damn, now I'm just going through my head. I've got to make a list. Which also brings us to trick or treat. I really hope that trick or treat this year is a bit more robust. Hopefully by October 31st, we've gained the level of herd immunity that will appease the masses. Hopefully. Yeah, we probably will. So that's a optimistic guess. Let's see. So quiet. There's no chat. Somebody asked me a question. Ask me a question I can ramble on for 15 minutes. I'm a talker, but I got my limits. Unless I have a question. Anybody have questions about last week's LED show? Or, this show? Oh, and just for whoever's still paying attention, if you're wondering where I'm at in the grand scheme of things as far as the video that you're seeing, I am right here. I'll do that again just for those that weren't paying attention. Ooh. Ooh. Spookadooza. And now you know. Hell, we may not make it for top of the hour. I may wind this down at 150 just because now I'm rambling and showing people my fingers like I'm crazy. Which, I mean, I am. Speaking of the inside of the house, too, the inside of the house will also be fully decorated for Halloween. Every single room will be decorated for Halloween. You're laying on the floor. I need to watch the LED episode again. No, actually, I'm sitting in a chair. I'm sitting in a chair, and with my hand fully extended up, I'm this high. The pictures are the bottoms of the pictures probably are about 5.5 feet from the floor. So the bottom of the pictures, the bottoms here and this one here, they're about 5.5 feet off the floor. When I'm standing up, I'm pretty much looking them straight in the eye. And the camera is facing the corner, but I am into the room. So I am that way. Yes. Yes. Where my finger's pointing is to the middle of the living room. Ooh. Jen says, just sitting in your spooky haunted house with your haunted pictures. That is true. Like I said, I'm in the living room because it's just fun here. Danny says, "Yeah, you're gonna need to take a nice video tour of your house and yard." Yeah, that is going to happen. It's going to be multiple months down the road because, like I said, the de renovations. You'd be surprised how difficult it is to undo a thing and not destroy the thing underneath it. And I'm definitely that's what I'm doing. James has actually seen a tour of my yard months ago. I was doing a power walk, and I can't remember. We got on a meet, and I just pulled my phone out, and I'm like walking down the street, and I walked around my. So he's seen the yard. He has seen the trees and the size of the yard. The yard itself to get. Fortunately, because of my neighbor, I've almost the one tree, the 1.5 trees that fell down, are almost taken care of. I tell you what, I will. He and I will have hickory firewood for the next 3 years. Well, I'm going to do it. Danny, I'm gonna do it before Halloween, and then when it's decorated. It's about 2,600 square feet, 14 rooms in one floor. It's a one-story house, but there are 14 distinct rooms. Some of them are small, but some of them are rather large. I would say the core of the house has the four biggest rooms, three biggest rooms, which would be the living room, the kitchen, and the dining room. The bar is probably the next biggest, and the parking lot side of the house is about the same size as the bar. Two bathrooms, a couple of non-designated bedrooms. That's hard to explain. That is definitely hard to explain. Foyer, which is actually it is a foyer, not a hall, because of the way it leads into the house, so it is considered a foyer. I can fit about 15 people on my front porch if they wanted to chill out. I used to know the square footage of the front porch. I can't remember that either. Thank you. It's very cool. The house is very unique. I want to be sure that the history of it is well known throughout time, even without me being here. I've absorbed quite a bit of it. I've absorbed quite a bit of the history of this house into my brain, and I need to start getting it out. And that is the idea. And there's a lot of history, a lot of crazy history too. Yep, there will definitely be a regular house tour before it gets spookified. The renovations have definitely taken several years. The only thing that I'm actually replacing and bringing up to the 21st century is the plumbing. I'm keeping all of the inside fixtures and such, but um, the uh, the piping is it's. I've done repairs throughout the years, so there's a mixture of galvanized pipe, copper pipe, PVC, CPVC. There's terracotta. There's cast iron. There's everything under the sun that make up this house. Of course, the only things that I ever have put in are the PVC and the CPVC. Everything else is original for the most part, and that all has to get replaced. Fortunately, the way I've designed it in my head, um, the old plumbing will not have to be taken out. Everything that's under the house and underground will just stay there, and I will simply build a new system, bypassing the old system. And when everything is said and done, I will be able to spend a few hours and just switch over from the old to the new. Because trying to actually get the plumbing from underneath this house, it would be ludicrous. So I can just stay there because it's not in the way. I could do a video series just in the house. Believe it or not, Danny, yes. Actually, in the last few days, I've gotten very serious in my head about doing that. Actually doing a YouTube channel for the house, doing that. There's folks that, and I'm not doing it just to make money, but there's folks that actually do the Patreon and all that stuff. I think that I would be going with a thing called Buy Me a Coffee, um, to maybe help as I show off the house and the history. Um, Maybe have some things that are like prime type stuff that if you're subscribed, and it's to basically to help offset some of the costs. I'm doing all the work myself, so that right there is, labor is always the most costly. But it would be cool if I could do things where the house would, as I put the tours that hopefully will last forever online, um, that the unique stories could also help to. I've thought about it for a few years, but it's literally in the past few days I've thought much harder and heavier about it, and I'm coming up with the system I think I'd like to try. So that is in the works. A lot of the stuff I've already done. There's already pictures and stuff, um, of how it was, so I'm not too concerned with having not a lot of video. But there's a lot of pictures which better suited to show how the house was, uh, after its renovation, quote unquote, 40 years ago, 45 years ago. Jen says, I watch a couple of channels of people remodeling their homes. One's a dude in Chicago, and the other is a guy who purchased an abandoned house in Japan. Oh, that's cool as hell. They're fun to watch. Oh, I bet you they are. I've watched my share of them too. And not being obnoxious, but I think that with this house, you get people that'll buy an old house and they know very little about it. They'll have neighbors or something with, oh, this, and they'll be able to share things here and there. But as they tear a wall out, they're like, "Ooh, what the shit is this?" And holy smokearinis, and they don't know anything about it. The unique part about this house and me is I know it. I know everything. Like I know why there's a door there and why there's a window there. I can tell you the history of why this was built this way. I can tell you things like, actually half of the house is sitting on top of, um, tree stumps that have, um, oh my god, now I can't even think of the word. They are, whew, yep, can't think of the word. The tree stumps have solidified. They're turned into rock. What the hell is the name of that? Shit, somebody help me out. Petrified. Petrified. There we go. So half of this house is sitting on, trees that were cut, big trees that were cut, and it's, supported by petrified. tree stumps, and other parts of it that are other parts of the house that are actually held up with uh, brick columns. That's part of the house that's sinking very slowly because the tree stumps aren't going anywhere, but where the brickwork is, it's slowly sinking very slowly. So it's things like that. This house, when I do what I'm going to do with this house, I won't. Nothing will surprise me. And so when I show a thing, I will know 100% what the history is of it. I can tell you 100%. So every piece of the house that was built onto, um, uh, since it's the family house, I can tell you the entire lineage, the history, who actually built the core of the house, all of that stuff. It'll be a bit more unique for me doing that because I will be able to tell you and the audience 100% this is what this is. Not like, I don't know what the hell this is. What the hell is this pipe? I don't know. I can tell you what this pipe is. You uncover something like, holy shit, I found a well or something. And like, there's no wells on this property. Things like that. So it's definitely in the cards that I'm going to be doing that with this house. And there is a website. Um, the website is cypress1910.com. If you go there, it's just a splash page for Halloween. But I'll be putting that up and on videos. Everything will be there. I may do Patreon. I'm more inclined, I think, that I might be doing Buy Me a Coffee. Some people are having problems with Patreon. Um, I may even do some of the content on YouTube, like a paywall. And it's basically just to help pay for the deconstruction, de-renovations, and renovations. And at the same time, hopefully entertaining people. So we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. I know I'll have fun with it. So, and I think a lot of people will just be like, holy crap. And of course, there will be a big section devoted to the resident ghost, a big section. And that I'm looking forward to quite a bit too. So, hopefully in the very, very near future. But speaking of the future, I guess in our last minute, because I will wind this up at 2. See, Jen says, take out a metal detector sometimes may find some cool stuff in the yard even. Oh, trust me, I find stuff in the yard without a metal detector. That's very easy. I've dug up quite a bit of this yard and have found some super wild things. Um, I may do the metal detector though at some point. Trust me, a lot of the cool stuff is actually under the house. I have found a lot of cool stuff under the house, and I'm sure there's still more to find. So, um, that right there, I God, I'm gonna have to send a small child into the house. Just pick up everything you find because I don't think I can get underneath the house anymore. I won't need to get under the house to do the things I need to do. But trust me, I have found all kinds of stuff in this yard. The digging I've had to do. So, nope, there's Nightbot. But I tell you what, everybody, we are coming at the top of the hour. So we will make this a fun 2-hour topped off stream. I thoroughly appreciate everybody who came in today. We'll get James back in soon enough once he stops being busy. Um, he's itching to come back as well, but we'll try not to skip streams if we can help it. If what I'm doing here works enough that it's not annoying as far as the sound or whatever, I can definitely do this on the rare occasions I need to do it. And we will definitely be here. I know I'll be here. Hopefully James can make it for Ministry of Amusement. We will get him back in normal session very soon. But as usual, from James and I both, please wear your masks. Please stay safe. Just have a stretch of this mess to go, and we can all get through it. If we just a little bit of common sense. But I do appreciate everybody showing up for another crazy stream. If for some reason the videos or the audio is annoying you, or if there's something I can change to make it a little bit better when I have to do this on other occasions, please let me know. You all know me on Facebook. Just send me a message, whatever. Send Hans Moss a message. But definitely, thank you all so much for showing up. It's a blast. Uh, the stream will abruptly end. There's no outro. Um, but thank you again. And hey, we will see you again on Wednesday night. And stay safe. Be kind to each other. And thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night.